Hang on a minute. We haven't hit the record button, have we? Just a minute. We'll have to start again now because I'm determined to. If I keep doing this until I get it right, then we are bound to do it right. So I'll just put the thing back up there. There we are. There's the caption back up there, and then we'll hit record and hit the opening film for those of you that watch it. Those of you that are listening, just hang on for 15 seconds, okay? Thank you very much. Yes. There we go. That's it, and a very good morning to you. Oh, yes, I have managed to hit the record button at last. Here we are. Good morning. It's Thursday's live United Kingdom talk here on United Kingdom Radio. Now, if you're wondering, is this show live or is it recorded? You're not quite sure. Well, have a look at your clock now. And I have to tell you, it is Thursday morning. It has just gone 2 minutes past 11 UK time on the 8th of July. If that is the time for you now, then you know you are watching or listening live, okay? You can watch or listen to the show, of course. Just go to unitedkingdomradio.co.uk and that's where we are. Just click watch or listen. Mikey Holt is on work experience today. Actually, I'm not quite sure what he's doing. He is on the Skype, and he said he might be able to try and secretly... He's going to possibly become a secret listener or viewer this morning from work, listening on his I don't know what is it? iTouch. iTouch. Oh, it's not going to touch me this morning. There will be no touching while we're doing the show. Please keep your hands above your desks. You naughty people. I think he's trying to listen on his i thing. I don't know what it is. No, it's not an iPad. No, he's not got enough money for one of those. I've got an iPod, you see. Here's my iPod. Little blue iPod, which I had a lot of. Aren't they easy to lose? Has anyone listening or watching this show this morning ever lost an iPod or similar MP3 player? I've lost one so far, and I thought I'd lost this little blue one. But it was kind of down the side of the car. They are so easy to lose, aren't they? Don't you think? How many of you of slightly advancing years remember the cassette Walkman? Oh, yes. Wonderful little gadget. The Sony cassette Walkman. I mean, you couldn't lose that, could you? It was too big to lose. There's no way you could lose that. And similarly, the CD Walkman. The Sony CD Walkman. You couldn't lose that. I mean, look size of a CD. You know, great big CD. You're not going to lose it, are you? And then when the mini disc came along, which for some reason didn't really take off in this country, mini discs, I mean, there's a few people that bought them, yes, but it didn't really take off that much. They started to get, gadgets started to get smaller, I think, when the mini disc Walkman came along. But you would still not lose it. Mini discs is, I don't know, so big, isn't it? You know, about, 2.5 inches by 3 inches, something like that. You weren't going to lose that. But then along came the iPod. Tiny little thing. I mean, the one I'm holding at the moment is about... And it don't start going on about your centimetres. I'm not interested in European measurements. This is the United Kingdom. One of the wonderful things that we share with Americans is imperial measurement. Inches, feet, yards. Wonderful. We do not need meters and kilometres. I mean, even the word sounds vile itself, doesn't it? Kilometre. What sounds better, kilometre or yard? I'll have a yard of one of those, please, or I'll have a metre. Doesn't sound right, does it? Anyway, this little iPod is about an inch wide, and I don't know, 2.5. What would that be? 2.5, 3 inches long. Still, not tiny, not as small as some of them I've got. I've also got a Creative Zen Stone MP3 player, which is about an inch. That's all it is. It's an inch long, and I don't know, 3/4 of an inch high. And that is so easy to lose. The times I've lost that and found it, I did have 2 at one point, but I've definitely lost one of them somewhere. It's a bright yellow thing. I mean, you're hardly gonna. I actually bought a bright yellow one, hoping that I wouldn't actually lose that because it was so big. But I'm afraid I don't think it's going to happen somehow. I have lost that one. I still got the black one. I don't know if it's here. Is it? Let me have a look around. Is it here? No, I haven't got it here to show you. Never mind. Never mind. So there we are. Have you ever lost one of these? I don't know. I have. And I lost this for 2 weeks. I have been unable to listen to other people's podcasts, but now I can. Hallelujah. Once again, I can listen. Now, you can join in today on the Skype a little bit later on, or the phone number as well. We will be opening lines. Just to let you know, my dear, dear friend Gwen, who is in hospital at the moment, not very well. Doctors say just a few days before she passes over to the other side. Went to see her yesterday, and she's in quite good spirits, you know. She is there. You can have a conversation with her. I took her up some of my homegrown strawberries. Yes, from the garden. Do anyone grow strawberries? Eh? Homegrown strawberries from the garden. Now, there weren't many of them. There was only about 5, I'm afraid. You're thinking, why? Is it worth taking those up? Of course it is, because it's so much better than the supermarkets. Do you find that? Supermarket strawberries don't seem to taste like anything, do they? Why is that? Unless you spend a lot of money on them. Don't be buying the 2 for £2 punnets. You've got to buy the ones that are quite expensive. Now, one of the varieties I do quite like to buy, and Sainsbury's do them, is Jubilee strawberries. Keep an eye out for those ones. Slightly more expensive, but they do taste better than your bog standard ones on special offer. Jubilee strawberries. But the ones you grow at home really do taste better. I know, like a lot of people who grow their own stuff and they spend it, it's not an easy. Well, it is kind of easy to grow your own stuff. On the other hand, it's very time consuming. You've got to spend quite a lot of time looking after things and weeding and pinching bits out here and there. I've got about 10 tomatoes or so in a garden, tomato plants growing at the moment, right? And you're forever pulling off a dead leaf or picking out a bit that's not so good. You know, picking a little side shoot out or something like that. You're forever doing that. You know, so no mean feat. You need to spend time when you're growing stuff like that. I've got tomatoes, strawberries and corn this year. Yes, growing sweet corn. No sign of the I think are they called ears? No, they're not, are they? You know the big corn that you buy in supermarket, usually 2 in a packet. I'm growing some of those at the moment. I've no idea how many you get on each plant. Really? Do you only get 1 on each plant? Have we got any corn growers listening to the show this morning, I wonder? Do let us know. There's an email address if you want to join in by email. Perhaps you're listening to the podcast version of this. If so, don't think you can't join in. You can always join in. Your email will come up in the next show or 2, all right? My email address is Chris. I've got a bit of a frog in the throat today. Sometimes those of you that watch them will see me reach over, and then you won't hear me while I cough, because it's rude. It's rude to cough and pass wind in public. You will not hear that on this show, hopefully. Unless there's an accident. We don't want any accidents on this programme, okay? Now, the thing is with strawberry plants, you need a lot of plants because the plants only kind of give up 1 or 2 strawberries at a time, if you're lucky. You know? So if you want to you know, a decent-sized portion of strawberries, you've got to have 10, 15, maybe 20 plants growing. And they don't take up an awful lot of room. But that's what you need to keep the strawberries coming. So yesterday I knew that Gwen likes strawberries, so I picked some strawberries off my little plants downstairs and I took them up in a plastic cup, and she sat in the hospital bed and had 2 or 3 of those, I think. She's doing quite well. You can have a conversation with her. I say quite well, you know, I mean, as well as can be expected. You can have a conversation with her. She sits there, she knows what's going on, and it's all marvellous. Gwen. All right? Also, for the first time yesterday, I met her husband. It's funny, really. I've known Gwen for 5 years, 5 or 6 years or so. And at last I met her husband, who was at the hospital bedside yesterday afternoon when I got there around about 2 o'clock. What a nice man. And he jumped up and shook my hand, and he said some very, very nice things which were quite touching. I won't say exactly what is it, like a little bit private that is, but he said how Gwen had enjoyed all the karaoke that I do over the years, because she's been following me around for years doing these karaoke songs. What did Gwen like to sing? Well, she did Fix You by Coldplay. And she also... actually, I've got a little snippet. Would you like to hear a little snippet of Gwen singing? If I can find it, hopefully. Just a second. I'll see if I can find a little snippet of Gwen singing for you, all right? Let's see. This little snippet will be a couple of years old. Because you've probably never heard her sing, have you? Let's have a look, see if we can find this. Yes, we can. Look at that. Found it. Right. Now, while we've been out, we did sing. I used to sing a duet with her. Streets of London. Do you know that one? Have you seen the old man who walks the streets of London? Dirt in his... Is it her? Or it might be her. Have you seen the old girl? I can't remember now. Anyway, a little bit of Gwen singing here a few years ago at a karaoke night, okay? Listen to this.
When you try your best, but you don't succeed.
Is that loud enough?
When you get what you want, but not what you need. When you feel so tired, but you can sleep. Stuck in reverse. And the tears come streaming down your face. When you lose something you can't replace. When you love someone but it goes to waste. Could it be worse?
There we are, a little bit of Gwen singing there, okay? Well, we'll play out the whole song. Well, I've actually got 3 songs by her. There's that one. I think the other one's Celine Dion. Here, far, wherever you are. You know that one? I can't think what it's called now. It was from that Titanic film, wasn't it? And also Gwen and myself doing Streets of London. So we might play for you at that sometime in the future. Anyway, her husband said some very, very nice things to me just before I left yesterday, which was quite wonderful, to be honest. All right, so keeping you fully informed there of how our lovely Gwen is doing. All right, boys and girls. Just to let you know, I heard earlier this afternoon, or this morning rather, that Paul Edwards and Ross Patzel are not here tonight on United Kingdom Radio. All right, so I'm not quite sure what we're going to do at 7 o'clock. I may turn up at 7 o'clock and do a 2-hour show. I don't know yet. All right, I might, because this is kind of an opportunity to clear our backlog of emails that I have at the moment. All right, so we might just do that. Let me just bring up some stuff on the screen for myself to read out. There we are. It's a shame we haven't got people, you know, secretaries doing all this work for us. There's only me sitting here. Here we are. I type quite quickly. My best friend Ron, he says my typing annoys him because I do tend to bash the keys quite hard. Yes, we do. We do bash those keys. Got to say good morning to Millie in Minnesota, who's with us bright and early this morning, aren't you, Millie? All right. I'll tell you what, Millie. I'll give you a little ring before the end of the show. Okay, between now and 12 o'clock, and we'll have a little chat-ette on Skype if you like. Okay, continuing to clear our wonderful backlog of emails here. First of all, it's Robert in Iceland, who sends me a couple of pictures. Let's see where we are. Send me some nice pictures. There it is. Got it. First of all, picture he sends me of a boat. Lovely boat. I have only got a black and white printer, so those of you that are watching the show can only see these. There's nothing gone wrong with your computer. I only have a black and white printer. So much cheaper to run than the colour ones. We don't need colour photo. Why is coloured ink so blooming expensive for computers? Why is that? It can't be that expensive to make a little cartridge of coloured ink for your printer. It can't be that dear, can it? Come on, be honest. Someone's making an awful lot of money out of computer ink. They are. And also sends me a picture, I think, of his daughter there, next to a polar bear. Now, I'm not quite sure if the polar bear is real or not. It might be. But if it is a friendly polar bear, and it doesn't look like the girl is about to be eaten alive, which is probably good news. Unless she's been naughty, in which case we may allow the polar bear to make a meal of her. And Robert writes, some of these emails are a couple of weeks old now, okay? We've just fallen so far behind with them. Robert said, would anyone be around tonight at 7 o'clock for 2 hours? Shall I do a 2-hour show tonight while those other two are off? I don't know where they are. Poor old Paul, I know he's been very, very busy this week, and I don't know where Ross is. But we might do a 2-hour show tonight from 7 o'clock, okay? And Robert writes, morning, Chris. Yes, indeed. I did stop, or as we prefer to think of it, suspend activities towards the United Kingdom. Now, if you're wondering what he's talking about, I have to tell you, Robert is in Iceland and is controlling the eruptions coming from the volcano. Oh, you didn't think all that was a natural disaster, did you? Robert is actually controlling the eruptions from Iceland. They're trying to get out of paying that money they owe us. Have we had it back yet, by the way? That's gone all very quiet, hasn't it? The money that Iceland owes the UK. Have you sent it back yet? Huh? We're still waiting. Don't give me that the checks in the post rubbish either. Please. Can you please send the cash? We want cash, not ash. Thank you. Robert says, I was in Reykjavik about 3 weeks ago. Is that how you say it? Isn't it it's all spelt wrong, isn't it? Reykjavik. R-E-Y-K-J-A-V-I-K. Reykjavik. I love that word, Reykjavik. I was in Reykjavik about 3 weeks ago, and it was awful, with the ash being blown around and coating everything in this fine ash. And yet, do we not wonder sometimes what it is that makes us human? I say this because they are selling little pots. I love it. They are selling little pots of volcanic ash in the shops while others are sweeping it away from the street outside. Are you serious? People will buy anything. Especially the Americans. They like to collect things, don't you? The Americans absolutely like to collect things. I reckon, you know, I should use this show to sell things to the Americans. For example, as you know, I am one of the UK's highest renowned star celebrity type people. If there were any Americans watching or listening to the show today, would you be prepared to buy a piece of my hair? How much would you give me? Oh, there's not a lot there, actually. Oh, my God, I just moved my head down and showed the bald bit. Oh, let me just try and cover that back up. You see, if I was Jewish, I wouldn't have this problem. I could wear one of those skull caps, couldn't I? Jewish people are very lucky. They get to wear these... Or I could become a Sikh and wear a turban. And you wouldn't know then if I was bald or not. Or I'm not bald. It's just a little bit gone in. I'll just tilt my head. Oh, you saw it, didn't you? No! How much longer can I get away with telling people I'm only 35? Oh, dear me. Yes, perhaps I could try and sell a bit of my hair, or what about if a filling dropped out of my teeth? Would any of you American people, would you be prepared to buy an old Chris Reardon filling? Doesn't kind of have the same, perhaps, panache as a pair of, I don't know, Frank Sinatra's glasses or something like that, does it? Or how about something less body-like, like a shirt as worn by Chris Reardon presenting... Perhaps I could give away this shirt that I'm wearing today. No, not give away. Would you be prepared to buy this on eBay? Or directly from this programme? You know, it would come in a little box, a shirt as worn on Chris Reardon's United Kingdom talk on Thursday, the 8th of July, 2010. And then you could invite all your friends over, play today's show as a recording, seeing as we have managed to hit the record button this morning, and then proudly, in front of all your friends, produce this very shirt. Say, look what I've got. Can you imagine the jealous faces that you would create because you have the very shirt that I am wearing at this moment? There you go. I know of people that used to sell water from Princess Diana's fountain. It's very easy. You just go down there with your plastic bottles, you dip it in, get a bottle of water and sell it on the internet. How easy is that? I could quite easily go downstairs now and fill up a couple of bottles with water and sell them. Water from Chris Reardon's house. Will that work, do you think? Am I missing out here on a business opportunity? I'm generally not a very good businessman. I tend to give work away all the time. My friend James Dean, who does a little radio show up north, a little place called Tameside. Awful place, dear. He does this little 2-hour show on a Sunday, bless his heart. And he was saying to me, how many people download your show? And I'm not someone who's led by numbers, and I've said this many times before. But I checked, and last month, nearly 34,000 people downloaded one of these shows. Don't ask me why. How you can sit there for hours on end listening to this rubbish is beyond me. But nevertheless, there were over 34,000 downloads of this little podcast last month. No, I've not jacked up the numbers. That's true. Show's been going 5 years. Over a period of time, you build up loyal friends and listeners and viewers. So just the podcast version of this show downloaded over 34,000 times. And he said, just imagine if you had £1 for every one of those podcasts. That would be £34,000. Whoosh! Oh, I've come over all hot and sweaty now. I mean, with money like that, I could move into my own personal studios, couldn't I? My personal radio and television studios. 34,000. And I put the phone down and I started thinking, who on earth would pay £1 to listen to this rubbish? I mean, you wouldn't, would you? I know what you're sitting there thinking now. Oh, God, he's thinking of charging for the show. No, he isn't. Don't you worry about that, because I know there's no way you would pay £1 to watch this. And besides, it's never been about the money. It really isn't. This is fun. I love it. I love having a little chat to you. Don't worry, no charges will be introduced. I don't think so anyway. Unless something terrible happens and, oh, I don't know, something terrible happens and then we need the money. But I guarantee if this show was charged, my brother-in-law as well, he says, you mean you got all those people listening and you don't charge anything? I said, no, I don't. He said, well, you're missing something there. I said, I'm not missing anything at all. Why do you need to charge for everything? We are not accountants. I am not an accountant. Okay? I don't need to worry, oh, how much is coming in? How much can we make from that? How much can we make from that? We don't need to do that. I'm very fortunate that I don't need to do that. People do not make money out of internet radio. I'd be very, very surprised if anyone wrote into the show and said, well, we have a station and we make money. Internet radio at this moment in time does not make money. I'm afraid. Okay, that's how it is. No, I'm not charging for this programme. God's sake, no one would pay for this. Would you? See, I told you. You'd be off like that, wouldn't you? You would. It's like the Times newspaper. You know the Times newspaper here in London? They have recently started charging for some of their online content. And they've seen traffic. I saw this on the news the other day. They have seen traffic to the website drop by half. They really have. And believe it or not, they are prepared for the traffic to drop by 90%. Unbelievable, isn't it? Now, as you can hear, I'm coughing away here. I'm going to have a little bit of my asthma thing, which I haven't got in here. It's in the other room. So if it's all right with you, I'll just play a couple of people's promotion things while I disappear in the other room, okay? And just have a little puff of my puffer, and then we'll come back to the emails, all right? So while we're here, let's have a quick listen to, let's see, which one shall we play? Have a quick listen to this man who's here on Sunday nights. 1 second, let me get my right button up there. This man's here on Sunday nights at 6 p.m. UK time. His name is Stacey White.
Whether you've had a good day or a bad day, or just have something on your mind, I'm Stacey White from Oklahoma in the United States. Now, live on the United Kingdom Radio on Sunday, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Come join me and talk about anything and everything. Talk and more talk, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Sundays on United Kingdom Radio.
There we are, Stacey White here on United Kingdom Radio. You might have seen him actually on BBC Three a little while back. He was doing a show, The World's Strictest Parents. Now, I happen to know that this programme is going to be repeated in a few weeks' time. He's the guy who was a policeman. Okay, policeman he was. So keep an eye out for that if you're here in the UK. BBC Three, The World's Strictest Parents. I think it's on a Tuesday night. I'm not quite sure when it's his particular show. Okay, back to the emails then, boys and girls. So they're now selling little pots of volcanic ash in some of the shops in Reykjavik. He said, never let it know that a business opportunity has gone to waste in Iceland. I have to say that from my lofty perch upon the roof of the world, I have a unique perspective upon the comings and goings of Downing Street. Is it me, or am I the only person to see the similarities between the two Ronnies and Clegg and Cameron? Or is it Cleggy? No, you're right. They are like the two Ronnies. They're hilarious. We love them. We love them. Cameron and Clegg. At last, personality has been brought back into British politics. Tony Blair, loved as he was, bit of a non-personality, I thought. Didn't you? I didn't actually believe all I was seeing when Tony Blair was in power. Gordon Brown was had much personality as a dead lettuce leaf. None at all. Miserable old git he was, weren't he, eh? Not my cup of tea. He just... And then when he never used... You know, he almost was okay before he started smiling at the camera. Because the smile was so false. You've got a happy smile. Let me try this now. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this or not. You've got a genuinely happy smile, which I'm doing now. All right? And then you've got a false smile. How can you do a false smile? Let me think. Okay, let me think of something horrible. And I'll smile falsely, yeah. It's a false smile. Can you tell the difference in my voice as well, those of you that listen? Here is... think of something happy. Let me think. Oh, yes. One of Mum's dinners. Yes. Here's something happy. Okay? This is true happiness. True happiness. Well, I'm about to eat one of my mum's... Well, she's been gone 10 years, but I can still remember those wonderful meals that she used to cook. I love it. And now here is a false smile... of me kind of thinking, I don't know, a false smile. Here's a false smile. Does it sound any different? Anyway, Gordon Brown's smiles were false, weren't they? No personality whatsoever. However, Cameron and Clegg, we like them. We like them I like them very much. Yes, I mean, all these very tough measures coming in, I know about that. But let's talk about the people. It just works, doesn't it? They have got to be signed up in a few years' time for their own comedy show. I can see them in sketches. What sort of sketches? I don't know. You could see them dressed as a couple of drag queens, couldn't you, eh? Cameron and Clegg. I think they need two drag queen names. There you go. There's something you to think about on the show this morning. Cameron and Clegg, if they were to have two drag queen names, what would they be? Give us an email in on that and let us know what you think. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Cameron and Clegg. What email address... what drag queen names do you think they should have? Let us know. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Robert says... The pictures were taken a few days ago, and I hope one will raise a smile. One is a visiting sailboat, which I just had a second ago. A visiting sailboat to Iceland. And the other is of my eldest daughter in the town with one of my trusty mountain elves. And a new character, the lowland dwarf polar bear. We can't see the elf properly, actually, in that picture. What happened? There's only half an elf. Have you cut the elf in half, Robert? It's all very worrying. Anyway, thanks very much. Lovely to hear from you, Robert. Now, I know of someone that wants to call in this morning now. So we're going to go over to Minnesota in a second or two and speak to Millie, regular viewer and listener to the show. And her mum recently sent me in a book. Here it is. There we are. Millie, good morning.
Good morning. How
morning,
are you?
Millie. What's the time there then, darling?
It is.
Oh, what's that noise? What are you doing? What are you doing, dear? Pay attention. What's that noise you're making there?
I had to turn off the United Kingdom radio so you wouldn't come back and echo.
There was some very worrying crackling going on then.
There we go. I got it sorted.
I thought you'd been struck by lightning, dear.
No. It's gonna take a lot more than that to get rid of me.
I think it'll be a few bolts that has to get through that body of yours, won't it, eh?
Oh!
One bolt will just not do it, my darling. Mind you, you're kind of protected from lightning, aren't you? Because of your rubber wheels.
Yes, that's right.
I would have thought.
Thank goodness too.
There's nowhere for the electricity to go, is there?
Nope.
Anyway,
No.
what can we do for you this morning, Millie? Talk a minute because I'm going to turn on my air conditioning.
Okay. Actually, this is in all seriousness, Chris. I know that on the last show you were thinking about not renewing the P.O. box for the postal address. I would love to see you renew that, because otherwise, how are those of us that live outside the UK, i.e. myself, Suko,
Suko, do you know Suko, she doesn't get up for this show. She doesn't
I
get
know,
up.
but she
Shocking,
does send
isn't it?
you Bush's Baked Beans, doesn't she?
You're there, but she's not. It's very disappointing. I know who my friends are.
Well, I will always be one of your
I
friends.
know.
In all seriousness.
I can't find this renewal thing now. Where is that now? Is this it here? Just a minute. No. I don't know where that's gone now. Anyway, carry on, darling.
But
I'm
please,
listening.
please
listening.
do that, because we'd like to continue to send you little things now and again.
Right.
I know I would.
Well, it's always nice to receive little things in the post. I've got your book here. This book has not yet been read.
I was going to ask if you'd read any
Haven't
of it.
started reading that yet? No, it's all been very tiring at the moment. I'm running around at the moment doing all sorts of things, as you know.
I understand. It's all right. And I know that you've been spending a lot of time with Gwen, which, by the way, I'm kicking myself.
Well, you know.
Because I did not know that she was on Facebook until I saw a status update from a mutual friend of yours and mine a couple of days ago, and I thought, oh, I wish I would have added her as a friend. Now I'm kicking myself.
Yeah, I'm not sure who runs her Facebook actually. I know there's quite a lot of messages on there, isn't there? So
Yes.
yeah.
Perhaps her daughter or her husband or something.
I'm wondering if it is her daughter who runs the email. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I'm not sure at all on that one.
Probably it is her daughter.
Have you got one of those little MP3 players I was talking about earlier?
No, actually, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I rely solely on iTunes.
Right. Okay.
And it works really well because I will sometimes, I don't always listen to just podcasts on it. I download books in audio form
Okay. Yes.
to listen to while
They're
I'm doing
on
my
your-
little bits and pieces on the internet.
They're on your computer though, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. But if I wanted to, I could burn them to CD.
Yes.
It'd be very, very easy for me to do.
Fair dues. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. But more often than not, I listen to them as I'm doing my little bits and pieces on the internet, and
Right.
I find it, I find it really fun to do because I don't know about you, but I don't like it when it's totally quiet. I've got to have some sort of something on for background noise. I don't know about you, but I've got to have something for background.
Yes and no. One of the things I very, very rarely have on in the house is music. As you know, my main job is I'm a DJ and I do karaoke as well, both of which are very, very noisy. In particular, the karaoke. It can be very noisy on karaoke. Last night was a bit mad, really. Was at Belushi's in Borough. I do Belushi's in Borough on a Thursday night in London, Wednesday night in London, and it was a bit mad. A lot of people messing about last night. You know, it wasn't.
It's always a bit mad in there, though.
Yeah, it wasn't particularly busy last night. It was one of the quieter ones, but. You know, people screaming into the microphone and generally being stupid, which is always a bit of a shame, really, because karaoke nights, the Hammersmith one is much, much more laid back, I have to say.
I can vouch for that, because I did.
Much more laid back in there. So it was, and you come out of there last night. I didn't get to bed till about 4:30, 5 o'clock yesterday. No, it was about 5 o'clock yesterday morning, and. I nearly overslept this morning. I woke up and I looked across at the clock, and it was 10:15 in the morning. I thought, oh my god, I better get quick sticks. So I quickly had breakfast, and here we are chatting away right now. So when I come home, I rarely have music on. I might put the news on downstairs,
right,
or watch. A video, but not last night because I was just so tired and I came to bed about 5 o'clock. There was a similar story on Tuesday, so that's why I haven't read your book yet or started reading it. I take a long time to read a book. It takes me sometimes months to read a book.
That's okay. I thought that you would like these because these all had short stories in them, and I know you like those.
Yes. Is it written? I haven't really glanced it at all. Is it like in chapters or lots of short stories? What is it?
It's short. It's short stories. As a matter of fact, I've turned to one that's fairly quick that I can read to you to give you an idea if you'd like.
Oh no! Don't read a whole story now. We just haven't got the time to do it, I'm afraid.
Okay.
But yes, I definitely because I do like short stories, as you know.
Yeah, it's only like 1 or 2 pages each.
Yeah.
On each. Little poems, little short stories, and they all center around Angie's childhood in Barnesville, Minnesota, which is where my mother and father grew up.
Right, yeah. Well, okay, Millie, now I think we're going to do a 2-hour show tonight from 7 o'clock.
All right.
All right, so that'll give us time, hopefully, to clear the emails and do some other bits and pieces tonight. All right, so from 7 o'clock. I'm assuming, I've been told this morning by Ross that Paul is not there tonight, and neither is Ross either. So I am assuming that that's going to happen. All right, but I'm not sure.
I'm going to be there, and does this mean that you will renew the postal box then?
If I can find the bit of paper downstairs, I'll do it. All right?
All right.
Okay, then. Thanks for calling, Millie. Might hear you tonight, then.
Yep, you will.
Bye-bye, my love.
Bye-bye.
But do be careful. You're dropping that microphone again, are you?
No, I'm not. It was my mouse that you heard.
Oh, okay.
Squeak, squeak.
See you later. Ta-ra, Millie. Millie in Minnesota there, boys and girls. All right, nice to hear. I've got a new gadget here, incidentally. Didn't show you this. This is I've got I had a flat screen television in the other studio next door, but that's defunct now because we've moved back in here. And I've put it on the kitchen downstairs. The only thing is there's no physical on-off button. So you've always got that light glowing away. You know the little blue light that glows away on your television, telling you it's on standby. And I really wasn't happy about that at all because it uses electricity. So I found this, and I couldn't find this in any shop anywhere. So I found it on eBay, I think it was, and it is an electrical plug with a built-in on-off switch. You see? So now it will be physically off. So I shall attach that this morning before I go swimming, I think. Good morning to Fagash Leo, who writes, I was going to suggest you stand in for Paul and Ross tonight, but Paul did say the other night he may be back or he may try to record something from where he is. but he would let people know today. Well, nothing's happened yet, so I don't know. Not quite sure. We just got a text message coming in now. Oh, good morning, Matt, who says check your emails. Oh, there we are. Thank you, Matt. Have you just sent this? He sent this 2 minutes ago. Drag names for Cameron and Clegg. He says, maybe for David Cameron, I could suggest possibly Davina Dressage, and for Nick Clegg, Nancy Knightley. We love it! We love it, dear! And now, please welcome to the stage Miss Davina Dressage and Nancy Knightley. And they would need, of course, a fanfare as they come on my... I want to be the person to bring them on the stage first. I must have this. We must do this. Absolutely. Anyway, Disco Matt, who's listening in London, writes, please accept my sincerest apologies for tuning in a little late this morning, as I was so engrossed in writing my Pride review and the news of certain DJs' performances. Oh, I can't say who. I'm not going to mention that little bit in brackets. That's very, very naughty of you, Matt. I have to tell you, Matt writes reviews for clubs. Okay, and online things. He says, anyway, I am loving the picture behind you. Oh, that will be the London Eye, something that I went on back in March and I hated it. If you're a regular listener or viewer to the show, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about there. I went on the London Eye in March. It was part of a job I was doing, this boat on the Thames, and I hated it. Never again will you get me up there. It's too high, dear. This door closed and immediately I went into an asthma attack. Chris Reardon does not like heights. He says, I've got a similar screensaver of the London Eye, the image being much more like 21st century than that 70s style Thames TVs you had hanging behind you. Yeah, I've got three large pictures actually. There's the Thames TV one. There's the London Eye, which is there this morning. And there's myself and my nephew enjoying huge ice creams in one of the most dreadful places ever on earth, Skegness. Has anyone been to Skegness before? What a dump. It's got to be the worst seaside resort I have ever been to. What a dump. It's awful. If you don't believe me, go down there yourself. If you like crowds and crowds and crowds of people, endless chip shops and ice cream parlours, you will love Skegness, but I've got a feeling you won't. Hove is where you want to go, where Fag Ashleal lives. She's in Hove. Go and visit Hove. Yes. I think that's what you should do. Go and visit Hove. Don't go to Skegness. It's an awful place. Awful, awful, awful place. Anyway, back to the email. Matt says, however, yet again, there is no mirror ball, and that black curtain that you were gifted... Please. I can't read that out. I cannot read that out. When are we going to have the black curtain and the mirror ball? Oh, soon, please. Don't rush me, Matt. Don't rush me. I'll do my... Maybe it will be installed for tonight. You might get the mirror ball up for tonight, okay? I'm hoping to be here at 7 o'clock. However, if Paul Edwards has got back from wherever he is, he will be here. Okay? But even if Paul is here, I will be here at 8 o'clock. So try at 7. Try at 7 o'clock tonight. If I'm not here at 7, I'll be here at 8. If Paul's not there at 7, I'll be there between 7 and 9. Okay? He says, I suspect when you get your money back from Iceland, which won't be any time soon, methinks. Oh, they're holding on to that cash, aren't they? What about my interest? What's the interest? What's happening to the interest? Please. Anyway, I'm here watching and listening. Please don't make me do detention for being late. He says, P.S. Surely you are not still lying about your age. Who's lying about their age? You? By the way, how old are you now, Matt? You've got to be over 40 now, haven't you, eh? You're still on those dating sites on the internet, aren't you? Parading around to be about 32. Oh, shocking. Shocking how people lie about their age, it really is. Okay. Anyone else want to call in this morning? You can do so. My Skype name is all one word. United Kingdom Radio is the Skype name, remember? Only call in if you're listening or watching the show live. How do you tell that? I'll tell you now. It's Thursday morning, 10 to 12 on the 8th of July. If that's the time for you now, then you are live with us. Call in. United Kingdom Radio is the Skype, or you can do it by phone. Our phone number is 020 3287 1488. All right? 020 3287 1488. This is a local London number. This is not a premium rate number. You've only got a few minutes left before we finish the show anyway. Once again, the Skype in, all one word, United Kingdom Radio. Phone in 020 3287 1488. Right, now some of you have kindly been sending in postcards to a young lad called Bryan Botkin, who's in the USA. He's got a nasty cancer. He's only 9 years old. And he's going through chemotherapy and all this sort of thing at the moment. Very nasty, very brave little boy. And we have an update on the postcards. And if you want to send in postcards to this little boy, I'm going to give you an address. All right? I'm going to give you an address in a minute if you want to send postcards in of where you're living. Perhaps you could just send a picture of yourself in and just write the address on the back. I will give you the address in a minute. But so far, the email says, "Hi, Chris. I got an update on the postcards. Bryan Botkin has received 300 plus postcards so far, and some of those are thanks to you, dear friends and loyal listeners to United Kingdom Talk. Thanks to all your listeners for helping out. So many people from so many places have been wonderful. American football players, softball players, basketball players from the University of Nebraska have sent him invitations to sit on their benches to watch a game when he is well again." That's nice, isn't it, eh? Got to have something to look forward to. Survivors of Ewing sarcoma have sent him notes of encouragement. His parents have been overwhelmed with all the support they have received. So far, Bryan is doing well, so I pray that it keeps up. Thanks again for your help. Your Florida friend, Gloria. Isn't that lovely? So this little boy is getting loads of postcards in as well. Now, if you want to send a postcard, very easy. Here's the address coming up now. It's Bryan Botkin, Botkin, P.O. Box 492, Boystown, Boyston, NE, that's N for Nebraska, NE 68010, USA. All right, once again, Bryan Botkin, Botkin, P.O. Box 492, Boystown, NE, N for Nebraska, NE 68010, USA. And he'd be grateful of any postcards that you send through there. I always have to look at numbers a couple of times because I'm a little bit dyslexic with numbers. I often get them round the wrong way there. Okie doke, now we've got another email in here from someone who's in Brighton. His name's Adam. And he wants me to read this. And he says, Pride, which is like a big event in Brighton, is a busy time in Brighton's calendar, but a must for this year's diary is the Brighton and Hove, actually, which Hove is where Fag Ash Lil lives. Fag Ash Lil, you could go and watch this. She's with us this morning. Fag Ash Lil. Is the Brighton and Hove Gay Men's Chorus ever popular Pride show. This year, it is Born Free, their tribute to some of the great Oscar-winning songs from the movies. Oh, we like that one. Born Free. I could be in the choir, couldn't I? Born free as the wind blows. Do you want me to launch into song? Oh, perhaps not. No. Okay. If you're a movie fan, it's a show not to be missed. It promises to be a fun night and an ideal way to kick off the festivities. The show will be compared by that talent star of stage and screen, Joanna Van Gilsingham, who recently played Camilla Parker Bowles in Channel 4's The Queen. She is also fondly remembered for her roles in Duty Free and Rumpole of the Bailey. That's old now, isn't it? And Rumpole of the Bailey. I know who you mean. Chorus musical director Jason Pimblett said... That's a funny name, isn't it? Pimblett. What sort of name is that? Pimblett. We all love the magic of the movies and the power they have to move and inspire us. Some of the great movies, such as Titanic, Here, Far, Wherever You Are, An Officer and a Gentleman, Gone with the Wind, Henry V, and not forgetting Born Free, had wonderful Oscar-winning theme tunes. We thought we would bring these and many other favourites together in a unique show. Born Free is on Thursday the 5th and Friday the 6th of August at St Andrews, Waterloo Street in Brighton at 7:30. Okay, once again, Born Free, the musicals with the choir, is on Thursday the 5th and Friday the 6th of August at St Andrews, Waterloo Street at 7:30. Tickets are £10 or £8 a concessionary price, available online at Pens Ready, boys and girls. Ready? www.bhagmc.org. Once again, www.bhagmc.org, as well as from the Sussex Beacon Shop on St James Street in Brighton, okay? So there we are. Happy to read that out for you, Adam. Okay, anything else you want to send through, please feel free to do. Well, it's nearly time for me to go, boys and girls. Now, I'm hoping to be with you tonight. I shall be standing in for Paul Edwards and Ross Patzelt tonight between 7 and 9. However, Paul may actually be here. I have to just wait and see if he gets here on time or not. And if he doesn't, then I shall be here between 7 and 7 and 9 o'clock tonight. Okay, boys and girls. And in that time, because that's a good 2 hours, we should be able to clear all the emails that we have, and we'll take some phone calls as well, and perhaps talk about a few other bits and pieces. All right, boys and girls. Don't forget you can join in at any time, whether the show's live or recorded, by email. My email address is Chris at... I wish I had my music ready now. Is it ready? No, it's not. Just a minute. So I haven't lined this up, have I? There we are. Found it. Found it. Stop panicking. Stop panicking. Yep. I shall be with you at 7. Okay? All right. See you tonight at 7 o'clock, unless Paul Edwards is here, in which case I'll see you at 8. Thanks very much for watching and listening. Email address chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. See you tonight at 7. Bye-bye.